Hey, we're back with Eitan Koter from Vimmi.net, and we're here to talk about accelerating your sales with the power of shoppable video. The website is Vimmi.net, and this is a platform where you can create shoppable experiences across social channels, marketplaces, and websites in a single scalable platform. So, Mr. Koter, glad to be speaking with you today.
Hey, it's great to be here, Robert.
Happy to have you. And so, what are you all about? We're here to talk about just what gets you excited, what gets you interested, what other people will get excited about. So, what are you currently doing as far as turning passive viewers into buyers?
Yeah, so we are all into immersive commerce and future of e-commerce, and it's primarily today around video and interactive video. We all understand that it's very, very difficult to acquire new customers to our own website and brand's website. And why not deploying videos and give shoppers the opportunity to purchase where they're spending most of their time, and they're spending most of their time on social media. And video is like the fuel that drives everything. And video can be in various ways. It can be a short form videos or a long form videos or even a live video. Today, through integrating call to action on top of the video players, whether it's on social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, even YouTube and Pinterest and others, we are able to create interactive checkouts experiences from within the video. And it's our platform is integrated to all these social media networks. And in one click, you can just deploy those videos on your own website, on your partner's website, but also on all your social media accounts, just to enable this shoppability experience that is very, very, I think, promising and helpful. Social commerce is just exploding. It's just a huge potential for any brands or company out there.
Well, it sounds amazing. And just to help us understand some of these concepts, you talk about shoppable video and about interactive video. So, like, how is that different than just posting a video straight to one of these social platforms?
Exactly. So what makes video shoppable is the idea that you watch a video, but that video has a link or a call to action. It can be like a buy now button or a link that is integrated into the video that is a clickable link. That makes videos shoppable. So in the Vimmi platform, once the videos are uploaded to the platform sync to the brand's existing e-commerce, and we sync product pages and can easily associate videos with product pages. And in one click, just deploy those videos all over the internet, like on their social media and also on website, giving the user the ability to click from within the video and actually add to cart inside the video and redirect it to a checkout and payment page. So that's what we mean by making videos shoppable. The interactivity aspect can be introduced, for example, in a live shopping event. Think about a live event that is happening right now in real time. A host showcasing a product, creating some kind of a FOMO effect from inside this event, whether it's a discount or some special promotions. There is a chat system that users can ask questions. There are moderators who can respond to questions, just making this whole experience more interactive. Video is very powerful in just creating this emotional type of experience, making potential shoppers more connected to the brand, just activating more parts of their brain in terms of making this impulse purchase much more intense. While they're watching a video, they're being pushed to make a purchase. But the idea is that making these live events is a very specialized type of experience that involves variety of scripting aspects and selecting the right host. But the idea is to have an interactive experience where users are engaged through chat, and they can make a purchase through the video player itself, as I just explained previously. And this can happen all over the channels, like in a multi-channel environment. These events are streamed on the customer website. They can be streamed on social media networks, whether it's the accounts that are owned by the brand or the accounts that are now activated by the influencer, for example. So having all these layers of distribution to all these hierarchies of networks and social channels is very, very powerful, just in terms of increasing conversion rates and increasing the opportunity to sell just all over the place.
Wonderful. And I like your mindset here because you mentioned about making the sales process more exciting, right? And you think about how there's, like infomercials and like shopping network kind of like TV channels where there's like something happening on the screen. So we want to try to replicate that on the web because it's way too easy to have just a boring web page and nothing's happening, but you have social media, you have video, you have someone answering questions, you have the link right in there. It's the same idea of how your phone has all kinds of bright colors, right? You want to do our best to make this a fun and exciting experience. That way, people will be happy as this happens. And so, as far as like you creating this platform, like what led you to it? Were you frustrated by what was already out there? Like, why did you create Vimmy?
Yeah, so I'm already more than 2 decades in the video industry. Like 2 decades ago, there was no video commerce or video in e-commerce. It just were the early days of just transitioning from analog video to digital video on cable networks and satellite networks. It's, broadcast TV, or it used to be called. And I remember that, I started then. It's kind of an evolution of the industry, how it moves from traditional satellite networks and cable networks to the internet with the launch of the iPhone, and then the launch of the Netflix, and obviously Disney and Amazon Prime. So now it's clear that we can get this 4K video on our phones everywhere, anywhere, anytime. And this is something that we saw evolving throughout the years. Around 5 years ago, I identified something very unique in China with live shopping. And this is like huge in China, where just sellers, this is their day job, just selling products 9 to 5 and even more than that. And they are streaming to super apps and to other websites and just creating a lot of business and volumes for brands out there. And social shopping and live shopping is starting to migrate to the Western world and to the US. And it's a very important aspect of any marketeer these days just to leverage video. I mean, more than 90% of companies are already utilizing video in their marketing activities. And when we are discussing shoppable video, it's that specific version of video which makes user engage and giving the brands the opportunity to convert while users are watching the video. So we saw a big opportunity. This is pre-COVID for brands and retailers just using video in a more serious way to sell and promote their brand and increase awareness, which gives us the opportunity just to deploy our platform as a service, and giving brands the opportunity just to leverage their existing e-commerce product pages, create videos, and just deploying them all over. So we are like in the intersection of media and commerce, which are converging. And this is a trend that we've been talking about for the last 10 years at least. We see big retailers and brands are becoming content providers and very focused on storytelling, but we can also see media houses and traditional broadcast companies are going into merchandising and into products and becoming e-commerce platforms. So there is a convergence of media and commerce. And this is something that we've envisioned, like 10 years ago at least, and we try to position our product and our platform to support that. It's also important that there's a lot of services that are associated with the SaaS platform itself, because video is still considered as kind of a more complex way of content creation. So we help our customers with what we call video commerce as a service. And that as a service component has a few variety of services, such as content creation, managing their campaigns with influencers, creating content, manage those live events, and just kind of a done-for-you service for brands and retailers who don't have the internal team or don't have the expertise to manage this process internally. So we handhold them, and we actually we are becoming like an extension of their sales team, creating content and deploying this content all over just to accelerate sales and make more opportunities for shoppers to buy their products.
That's great. There's a lot to figure out and a lot to think about. Just these ideas that you're mentioning of create the content, intersecting the media and commerce, plugging in the storytelling, working with influencers, creating live events. It's all
Yep.
exciting stuff. And so, as far as like when people use your done for you service, like where is the difficulty or the resistance? Like if a client starts using Vimmi, do they have trouble getting their head around, say, the storytelling aspect or how much content they need to create? Like where are people struggling as far as getting the most out of your platform and your
Yeah,
service?
that's a great question. I've always been asked by any new customer or any customer discovery call that people are asking, what's going to work for me? I mean, what do we need to do? I mean, how many live events? How many short form videos? Whether we go to long form videos? What do we do? So, but there is no one size fits all. I mean, the process works in the sense that you need to be committed to creating initially short form videos, like for the next 3 months, at least 3 to 5 short form videos per week, just to make sure that you are testing the algorithms. We're aggregating all the analytics for you from all the channels, and we are able to create some kind of our AI recommends improvements in those videos, and we're analyzing so many things just to make sure we provide enough data for our customers just to improve the way they are producing video and the way they are streaming video and publishing those videos, whether on specific channels or time of the day and length, and obviously storytelling. And there are like methodologies how to create short form videos, for example, right, using the right hooks, which I think everyone understands by now. But I think the major difference for 2025 is that no one really cares too much about high production and post-production editing capabilities. People are fed up with like b-rolls and having this massive and high production backgrounds, and people are looking for the authenticity, looking for your true story, for your true self, looking for like the story that you can tell that differentiates you from one another. And that consistency is very, very important. So if I can recommend something for your listeners, is just be consistent and just be authentic. Don't care too much about editing. It used to be in the past that you would have spent like 20% on preparation, right? 20% on just creating the videos, right? And then 60% on post production. Now it's like completely the other way around. Spend 60, 70% of your time on preparation, just analyze what content should be created, and I can elaborate about that. So 60% on preparation, 20% on taking the actual video footage, and 20% on post-production. And that 20% can even be 10% because of all the AI tools out there that can help you with just doing the cut to cut, adding some captions. And this is all that you actually need. In terms of what content to produce and what content to create, it really depends where the company is in the marketing funnel stage. So if you are in awareness stage, just probably launching a new brand, launching a new product line, provide a lot of educational content, market information, trends in the industry, checklist. Don't push your product, right? Having this 80-20 balance of 80% just provide value that builds relationship. And once those relationships have been established, you can then push products and share product information and on this 20% ratio. And when you are in a consideration stage where your company, your shoppers, potential buyers are actually considering to purchase, yes, provide comparison content. Don't be afraid to talk about your competition, how to provide case studies. And when users are in the decision mode, provide, again, testimonials, share prices, your unique selling points. So it really depends on which stage you are in the marketing funnel. Well, it's very, very important as a beginning to create a list of like 50 customer pains. And there are so many tools to research, like in Google and all over. What's trending right now in your niche? Create a list and just create a content around every one of those pain points and start with a question. And just to provide some kind of an insight or some kind of a personal story that helps you overcome these pains. And this will resonate a lot. And if you've been consistent for at least 3 months, you will see amazing results. And I talk only about organic content. Doesn't cost anything, right? We don't talk
Right.
about advertising or anything. Suddenly you will see one of those videos just spiking because it works like a hockey stick. And those videos that you know are working very well, you can then push them with advertising, and you know that the return on ad spend is going to be very, very high. So yeah, I mean, everyone needs to take this journey, be committed for 3 months, You can also plug in like a weekly live show just to create some FOMO around your brand. Share inside stories. Don't make it too polished. People are looking for these real stories for the authenticity. This is why everyone can do that, even if you don't have any experience, putting yourself in front of any camera.
And this is great advice. And it's interesting to think about these trends that you're mentioning. That there for sure was a period of time when you'd stand out by having the good equipment better than anyone else. But it's like
Yeah.
now we all have every iPhone is really great quality camera, and then the B-roll used to stand out, but now one click and AI drops it in, so it's nothing special anymore. So now how do we differentiate by the way it probably should be, which is creating good content? And you're saying, well, what makes good content? You say to think about your hook and grab attention right away. You say to have storytelling. That way there's like this beginning, middle, and end. And you talk about people using the product. And I love your plan here, your path of using these research tools and listing out 50 customer pain points. And that gives you a great start on, like, you look at that list and say, hey, these couple of out of the 50, like 3 jump out at me. I can make those today. And so it's great here us to kind of, and you also practice what you preach, right? Because you're talking about your platform, but the focus is on like more of what the customer should do, right? It's easy to say, oh, here's me and my platform, but you're like, hey, here's how you get the best bang for your buck as far as using the platform. And so you have this platform, Vimmi, and you have the Mastering E-commerce Marketing podcast. So you're really tapped in, dialed in to what's working as far as e-commerce and video. And in our last few minutes of our conversation here, I want to make sure that we get to what is important to you. So in this discussion that you and I are having, is there a missing, hidden, invisible question that I should be asking you about all this? I just don't know to ask you.
No, I think the main message is that the way to differentiate today is by being authentic, and by being consistent. One of the way to differentiate is just zoom in to your target niche and ICPs. So I highly recommend just to define who are your ideal customer profiles, who are your personas, right? And then just target them in the right platform. Because if you are targeting like Gen Zs, for example, definitely you need to be on TikTok. But if it's like Gen X, you need to be on Facebook, Instagram. YouTube is like for old generation. So you need to post everywhere, but you need to understand where is your target social media networks that is really fit for your demographics that you are trying to promote and to push. And the idea is just to zero in on these type of customers and just provide them real value through real stories, not overproduced stories, not ChatGPT stories, because it's very easy to identify, because those ChatGPT stories can just kill your brand. It's very easy to know that it's something that is not authentic and is not coming from your true self. So creating videos is a great way just to build relationship, and relationship is just the foundation of doing business, right? If you are in D2C, no one knows you. And if you're creating this foundation of relationship by providing value and real stories, you then have the opportunity, and people are more open to accept a proposal from you. And so the way to differentiate is through authenticity, and the other part is consistency. So yeah, you can just block a few hours in a week and create the content for that week, but just keep posting, ignore the data initially, just learn how to do things, and suddenly you'll see what's working and what's not, and it give you confidence to continue. And what's working today very, very strongly is what we call founder-led content or employee-generated content. Rather than just inviting a host or a celebrity or an influencer, find someone in the organization and a company who can create content, whether it's you as a founder or as an executive, one a member of the executive team, one of your key sellers. Incentivize them to create content. And this is the most powerful way to grow organically. It's out of any marketing channel. We know that PPC is very competitive. We know that Amazon is very competitive. Everywhere it's becoming more and more difficult. But being consistent on video content creation is a way that doesn't cost anything to really break through the crowd environment out there. And probably this is the best marketing investment you can do in 2025.
I agree. And it's definitely something we should give priority to, this authenticity and consistency. And you say
Yeah.
to block out time and think about who your people are and demographics, age group, problems, etc. And then that tells you where they are then going to hang out. And then that way you know
Mhm.
where to post a video to. And then you're saying, then think through the stories and make it about the people and the usage and all that kind of emotion that comes from you, doesn't come from Chat GPT. And then to you said a few times, don't worry about the data and just put it out there and be consistent, because eventually like one of these will take off. So get that right intersection of you have good content and the algorithm shows it to the right people and then it amplifies, and then you have some data on what's working and what to do more of. And it just seems like a great success path to get the most out of our content or organic posting, e-commerce video, and all that great stuff. And so, what are some next steps here? If someone said, "Man, I got so many ideas, I've got a little bit of a plan, but I definitely need to tune into the podcast and I need to use the Vimmi platform," who is it for, and where should they go to start using it?
Yeah, I mean, we serve solopreneur content creators, but also small medium businesses, and also enterprise. I mean, we serve almost any sector in the market today, and obviously the solution are very different if it's an enterprise or a content creator platform. But we have the ability to serve all these type of customers or customer segments in the market. So just go to vimmi.net, vimmi.net, and you can go to our pricing page and you can just open account. It's free for life, and you can just explore shoppable video, live shopping across channels and across your website. Just embed that video player, that interactive video player on your website and product pages. It's really easy. It's kind of a self-service platform, very idiot-proof, I might say. Anyone can just open account and integrate and do that just in a few clicks. The podcast obviously is a resource for e-commerce marketing knowledge, as I interview brand retailers, head of e-commerce and marketing leaders, and obviously agencies and industry influencers and technology partners that are shaping the industry as well. And I'm also very active on LinkedIn. So I post regularly about video marketing, video commerce, trends in e-commerce. And that's on my personal profile, Eitan Koter. Love to chat to anyone, all things video and video marketing.
Very nice. So those are some excellent resources, because if we keep on just kind of going through without a plan, we'll get iffy results. And if we let ourselves stay trapped in our own thinking, same strategy, same tools, then that's not really a good use of our time or resources either. But a better use is these two destinations that we mentioned, right? There's the Mastering E-commerce Marketing podcast. Well, there's three destinations. Mastering E-commerce Marketing podcast. There's Eitan Kocher on LinkedIn. That's first name EITAN KOTER is the last name. And then, most importantly, the crown jewel is this platform, Vimmi.net. That's VIMMI.net. You can sign up, you can start using it, you can embed that video player, and you can just tap into some of these amazing ideas that we've been discussing in a single scalable platform. That way we can make the shopping experience fun for people, and we can just kind of get the attention to our e-commerce products and brand that it deserves, because many of these other companies are using these techniques, right? They are using storytelling. They are kind of doing all of these sales marketing techniques, and maybe we subconsciously notice them when we buy, but we're not deliberately applying them as best we can for our own products. It's time to change that by going to VIMMI.net and tuning into that podcast, which is Mastering E-commerce Marketing, and then add Eitan Kocher on LinkedIn and start that conversation. And before I let you go here, Eitan, I want to do one last thing and put you on the spot a little bit. I like to ask my guests at this end point of the show about a fun or interesting quote or lesson that has served them in business or in life. So, what comes to mind for you as far as a helpful quote or lesson?
Yeah, for me, it comes to mind is differentiation. Okay, and the way, I mean, being different is better than being better. Okay, and differentiation is everything, I think, in business. And the way to differentiate is just look inside. It's not look outside. It's look inside. Understand um, your true self. How being in an active research mode about why this company exists. What is the founder story behind it? Trying to come up with stories that are very, very unique and personal. And the way to again to differentiate is zoom in to your right customers. You cannot sell to everyone, right? You need to understand exactly whom you are selling to and just focus. And one of the great ways to launch a product or to succeed in marketing and growth is just to start very lean in terms of the product that you offer and the customer that you serve. It doesn't have to be a broader solution or huge product lines. Focus on the products that are going to win. Start small and then grow from there in this land and expand type of strategy. And instead of just trying to capture everything in one go, start small, win a customer segment, make them happy, they recommend to their friends, and grow from there with more solutions that you can provide to this existing customer segment. So that's the way to grow today. It's very common on the tech sector, and I see also this is just implementing all over in a lot of marketing teams in e-commerce and retail. Again, start small and grow from there. Just land and expand is the way to go.
Land and expand, differentiate, very sage advice as they check out Vimmi.net and Eitan Koter on LinkedIn. And thank you very much, Mr. Eitan, for showing up, blowing our minds, giving us this really helpful advice about video and e-commerce, building your brand, growing your business, all of that is wrapped up in. I really appreciate you coming on and helping us out.
Amazing, Robert. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right.